Just a few weeks ago, I solo rigged the big line in Yosemite, 291 meters long, or 960 feet, and we did a brand new rope swing off of it. Check out how we did all that on this episode of How Not to Highline. We have been looking forward for years to rope swinging off of Taft Point, the railing at Taft Point, because it's such an epic view, it's such an exposed space, and the way that Taft Point is shaped very much like our rostrum rope swing, where you can jump out this way and swing in and not be concerned about hitting the wall. I don't actually think you would hit a wall if you jump straight down and then come back, because that's just not how science works. However, it does make us feel better if there's a lot more air around us, because it is quite embarrassing to die if nothing fails. The most recent development in highlining has been segmented highlines, and that allows us to link smaller pieces together for bigger projects. In my case, I always use 50 meters and simple sew-in loops on the end with Enove splits, crisscrossed soft shackles. And what we do is we stabilize the rings with those soft shackles, some additional ones, and that keeps the ring in place for us to be able to do our rope swing. Whereas before, they would just slide all over the place and there was no way to keep them where we wanted them. So now with that new technology, we're able to do this rope swing that we've been looking forward to for a long, long time. And so we did a lot of planning and prepping, and what I thought would be fun, for some weird reason, is to solo rig the entire highline, which is, I think, the longest highline that's ever been rigged solo up to this date. And that's kind of a rubber ruler depending on where things are at and how hard they are. This one was fucking hard. It was tons of Z-dragging. The gully down there is huge. Anyways, it's almost 1,000 feet long. It took me 12 hours to set it up, and I was stoked and exhausted. It's 4:29. This is a cheese stick. I just finished, and I forgot 3 of the 4 leashes, but there's technically 1 leash on here, so it's rigged. And I started exactly at 4:30 this morning hiking. So from the car to being done took 12 hours. I'm definitely bringing friends next time. And we did that the first day, and then we did the rope swing the next day. We're going to show you a lot about this particular rope swing, but not rope swinging as a whole, because we have our other episodes about that in more detail. We have dynamometers on this jump, but we also have a lot more tests that have been done with different weights and different people and stuff. You can check all that out on our YouTube playlist under rope jumping. But here we're going to show you some of the details of this rope swing. So the idea tomorrow is to jump from the railing right here and just start and go boop, 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 and exit. And I'd be connected to a split right there, which means my trajectory is out here and I wouldn't come back and hit this wall. I laser a couple things here and there, and I basically have to clear that rock there. So I have to exit exactly from this point. Yeah, you have to be pretty strategic. Straight down is okay, but if I jump from over there, I have to like clear stuff. That's a pretty gnarly one. And I'm 55 meters away from my split from here. So my 70-meter rope will have just enough of a slope. Day 2. I'm gonna jump with this tire that I painted pink. And it's hopefully gonna be the world's largest rope swing, according to my very shallow search on Google. The concept here is that I'm gonna have a dynamometer attached to my jump rope. And then from this point, it's gonna be attached to the tire and to me. And I am gonna be tied in with a harness. I am rope swinging, but it'll be around me and I'm gonna be sitting in it just like a tire swing would be around a branch. So, yeah, let's see what kind of forces we get. Who knows? Nobody's ever jumped this exit before. There's a lot of unknowns here. And before I go, we're gonna make sure we push the tire off first to make sure everything's smooth and we don't hit rocks down there. That's basically our biggest concern because we know the forces in the system. So everything is attached to the leash rings. I'm gonna slide out on personal anchors. My first setup here, you can see, is a soft shackle double wrapped in that swivel and taped shut. And that's my backup line. And that is
stopper knot with the Yosemite finish just to keep it as tight as possible. Then I use a longer soft shackle here in the front and tape it shut. Now you cannot tape SK78, the fancier Dyneema. This is SK75 from gotomarina.com. It's called Blue Am Steel, ironically, but comes in all sorts of colors. But the point is, tape sticks to this, it does not stick to the other ones. Keep that in mind. But that's how I keep my soft shackles closed, even though I don't think they'd open. This swivel is from Amazon, 20 bucks. So I bought two and broke test it, and we got 45 kilonewtons out of a 35 kilonewton swivel. And that's why I am rope jumping on swivels, because it's gonna solve a lot of our twisting issues. But you can see how this knot here is offset. It's down here, not going to interact with our other knot there. So this is a nice clean system. Because I'm jumping with a tire, I have extended this down in order to not interfere with my knots. And I just extended it with a shoulder length sling girth hitched. And the idea behind this is this rappel figure 8 can go down, get lowered to me, and then I can clip this around the tire and it can be pulled up. Now I don't want to pull it straight up, which is the way it would go right now, if I left it in the pulley. So what I'll do is I'll attach the tire to this, then I'll jug the ropes, detach it from this, and it's going to go straight to the railing and be able to be pulled up directly. And this way I am not jumping with a tagline. You never want to jump with a tagline attached to you in case it got stuck on something and stopped you. If you ever did, you'd have to use a small tagline that you know would break. I have done this before. I've had it attached to me and it got snagged on a rock. Luckily it was a cheap polypropylene rope that broke. The way this knot is fat right here, it gets stuck in the pulley, comes down, gets stuck, but it doesn't get stuck and stay in there. So it's a really free flowing, but I'm gonna be exiting from the railing over there. And so we've already walked all of our ropes over there. So now I'm gonna go attach this, and you can see in our other video from the rostrum how I attach it with the 2 extra soft shackles on the Enov split. And then for shits and giggles, I pat it, and that's what I have pre-ready to go. So the ring is sitting on top of this and not my soft shackles. Okay, so we have finished this. We have the Velcro on here. So I take these off and fillet them open, put the Velcro on, and then the ring is, I put the ring on top of the Velcro, and then my soft shackle is tape shut there and crisscross tape shut there. So this cannot move in any direction. And then I got swivel number 1, swivel number 2, and my pulley accessory cord tagline system. So let's give you a nice pretty view of El Cap there. This is a new exit, it's never been jumped before, so we're not quite sure how far I can jump. So to play it safe, we're going to tie the rope in pretty much as short as possible. And then after that, we can always tie in longer and longer. So there's no reason to push the limits now because the ground, it's just really hard to tell with stretch how far I'm gonna go. And it's really embarrassing to die if nothing fails and your rope is just too long because you're an idiot. So let's try to play it safe. Okay, so you always wanna make sure that you go second. So we're gonna let the tire go first, and this accessory cord is how we're gonna pull it back up. I'm gonna stay clear of that while I push it. 3, 2, 1. That's pretty clean. Smell a lot of burning rope. That's good. Good trajectory. You never really know till you just jump. Let's pull this thing back up.
So I'm an idiot. I came up with this system like 2 years ago and fucked it up. So this is how you're supposed to really do it. This doesn't work. The more slack you give here, it doesn't go down. So I don't know what I was thinking. We made it work, whatever. But the way you're supposed to do this is this is vital, but this is only supposed to hold up the actual hull line. This is just never actually used other than holding up the hull line. This is actually how it's supposed to be done. This is the hull line that goes up to your in this case, railing, and this line holds it up. So as you jump, both of these get pushed out of the way, and then when you're done, you just give slack to this one, and it lowers this other one, because this one will just drop right down to the jumper. And I was down there with the tire. I could connect that rope to the tire before I left the tire. Otherwise, you just connect it to yourself and you get pulled up directly. And then this rope ends up coming up in a loop and gets pulled up this way. So it looks like this after you get hauled up. And then you can reset it. That's the most beautiful part about this system. You never just have one rope coming over into a pulley. That was dumb.
We are ready as you are.
So you're not ready. Ugh. Don't try this at home. You rolling?
No, wait 1 sec. Yeah, I'm good. Gotcha.
Man. This is awkward as fuck, man.
There you go.
Shit. Had a cinder off. So I'm about to rope swing on my pink tube here. Selectivity should appreciate that. And just ironically, a couple weeks ago I almost pink tubed, but that successfully went well. I don't advocate for doing this, but if you do it, make sure you got a dyno for science. Fuck me! Ah! 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 I'm alive! I'm alive! Wow, see that rock down there? Holy shit! This is a 60-meter exit. Good to note. Uh-oh, oh no, I'm spinning now. Wow. It's so much colder down here. I made it! Woo! Woo! Ow! Chee-hoo! Wow, that was really scary.
That was really, really scary. But I did it. I did the world's largest tire swing, I think. If not, it was a big one. But I got to start jugging. Hopefully these swivels don't make me spin more than I already am. But oh, the dyno. Dyno 2.38. Let's see if we can get that. 2.38. That's the force on some whips. This is just a gnarly whip. I estimate I was about 60 meters tied in because the Highline was 55 meters away and it was pretty direct. So my backup is probably, I didn't really load it. Probably like 7 meters longer. So the big concern here at this exit at Taft is you don't want to hit, let's see here, you don't want to hit that rock on your way out. So you got to jump kind of towards El Cap, kind of diagonal, because we're like the connection's over here. So the idea is that when I swing back, I don't hit anything because that cliff is further away than that cliff. Now I'm still quite a ways from the ground. I could be at least 75 meters. And from that wall, I did not get close at all, which was a concern of ours. You can see the tree that our Highline is rigged off of. But if I can only turn around. Come on. Anyways. So the real concern is these rocks. If my rope was longer, there'd be a chance I would hit them. But I also jumped pretty far and I may have cleared them. But you definitely don't want to do rope swings that have potential for hitting the ground if you don't exit perfectly. You want really clean exits. This is mid-October. The colors are gorgeous. That's where the 100-footer is, right up there. You can see the 50-meter rigged right there. and the moon right there. Oh my gosh, I'm just so happy. I should start jugging.
You look good.
Hey Nick,
Yo,
how's the stabilization software on the iPhone 11?
let's find out.
Oh, let's see here. And which hand? This hand. Why am I getting a hose? There we go. How's that iPhone 11 stabilization? Just gotta make sure I don't hit that rock right there. I just gotta jump down there and I get to go home. Stabilize?
Yeah.
Ugh. Six, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm alive! I stabilized! I wish I liked to golf. It'd be so much simpler. So, this is the view from down here. Now I just have to jug all the way up there. Uh-oh, this is when I start spinning. Now that I'm home, I do think the swivels really helped. I do think there's some other techniques in order to keep the ropes from twisting around each other. But we're gonna keep experimenting, keep learning, and we're gonna practice some factor two-stage rope swings, which will be a whole next level of rope swinging just here in the spring. So stay tuned to this channel in order to watch all of our progression in rope jumping, and we're gonna start doing a lot more science with it and do a lot more experiments on how things work and how things operate. We want to test rope swinging off fixed objects like bridges, so we know how much more force the rope will see if you don't have a Highline absorbing the majority of the fall. On my second jump, I got 2.6 kilonewtons. It's just not that much force, but that's also attached to a 291 meter long Highline, which is absorbing a ton of the energy. Because the more kilonewtons the rope sees, the more stretch it has, risking you going down further if that's not what you want to do. Go check out hownottohighline.com. Highline University International is a project we're working on for a long time now. Will eventually contain all the rope jumping technology and learning and tests that we've done within the school. So you know that we know that you won't die if you try doing this. And remember, please always go second. You always want to throw something, even if it's not full weight, off of the X